Hello and welcome to another edition of the Breakdown. This is your host Jacob, aka Gator. We in here tonight. I got Queen in here with me. I know Flo is on his way. Y'all say a prayer for Sassy and Lala. They got some issues going on in real life, so say a prayer for them. Uh, Shout out to everybody who has liked our like page. We appreciate it greatly. I posted something on the like page a little while ago and also in the group on Facebook. You can find all those links wherever you're listening to this. Um, Shout out to those that following us on Instagram. We do follow back. We post stuff about basically what we talk about on the show. I got Queen in here with me. Queen, you say you alright? Got a headache?
Yeah, I'm good.
Mm-mm. We gonna have to work this out because we need to talk about this thing. Well, actually, it's not even my topic. We're waiting for Flo to get here, but we would have had it started. Uh, Flo wanted to do this topic, and when he get here, I'll let him talk about it. But there is a lot of infidelity, um, cheating. What's another? That's basically the other word for it. That goes on, um, especially in well, I ain't gonna say especially, but in marriages and relationships, um, that is crazy to me that it happens so much, and I'm constantly hearing about it, seeing it on TV, with celebrities and different things of that nature. Uh, Queen, how you feel about this?
No, I guess, cheating ain't right, but I guess there's reasons people cheat. Well, then
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you got people that just cheat just because men. Fact, I'm just playing. But,
Whoa, y'all heard that?
just playing. But no, sometimes you get, I don't know. I know for me, yes, I technically cheated. Um,
Mm.
but it was like a 2-year thing of where I knew my marriage ended, but I had to figure out a way to get out of it before I could end it. So it took me a while, and yes, I had a friend because I wasn't having sex. It was 2 years, and yes, I had a friend that I had slept with like a few months before I got separated from my husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt bad about it. I prayed, I asked God for forgiveness because even though I know that the emotion and the marriage was over, I still was his wife,
Uh-huh.
and that bothered me. But in another instance, it was like as soon as I had a man come along that started showing me feelings or giving me the attention that my husband wasn't giving me, it was so easy just to not even think about marriage. It was just thinking about how I've been longing for this attention. Not making an excuse for what I did, but I'm just saying there's many a reasons that play in. But I wish that more people or more black couples, and I'm talking to the black couples, not saying it's just black couples that cheat. I just want to see more of us succeed in marriage, communicate, talk it out, stop arguing all the time, and maybe it wouldn't be so much cheating or infidelity going
Is
on.
is that the major reason? That, I'm
No,
talking about you personally. Like, is
yes,
that the reason that made you fall away from your marriage, or you know?
you talking about just sexual or just in general everything I was talking
Like
about?
like a general, like everything that you said, like
Yeah,
if people were talking and they were, I don't know.
yeah,
I know.
it was a lack of communication. Um, it was I dislike.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I do something to you and I say, you know what, Gator, I'm so sorry. I never wanted to make you feel that way. Can you forgive me? That means I'm owning up to what I did. Even if I think it's not right or wrong, I'm still acknowledging your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
But I would get the apology like, oh, well, what you said to me hurt my feelings. Well, it wasn't meant that way. I'm sorry you took it that way. That's not an apology.
Yeah.
And that used to aggravate me because when I did something, oh, we got to sit down and see how long you going to be mad at me. But if you did something, it's like a sorry, and I got to go ahead and get over it. So it was things that played up to me actually stepping out. And my thing is and it's easy to say that, oh, if you want to sleep with somebody else, just end the relationship. A marriage is more than just a relationship.
Yeah.
Because even if I walked away, I still was going to be married for at least 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I know for me, it was like I don't know, I lost myself, and the person that I slept with made me find myself. Like, made me realize, all these months I've been sitting, or years tolerating what Ken was doing. My friend made me realize, like, walk away. Like, he gave me the strength to want to walk away.
Yeah,
and it was crazy because when I'm with a man, no other man can turn me on. But once the feelings or the relationship that we have built has been tarnished,
yeah,
and another man is able to step in and turn me on, it's over.
It's a wrap. Yeah. See, I've been there. You went into it deeply. My experience as far as infidelity goes was on the other end. I was on the receiving end. Now, I've been told, and this has been a while ago, this is when I was younger or whatever, there was a situation which I don't know why I started doing this, but I used to be, I think it was because I was on different sites back in the day when all these different chat sites was up. You could call in and talk to people, and I would meet people that were far distant from me. And we call ourselves being together or talking or whatever the case may be. And stuff would happen, infidelity would happen. Well, you're not here. Well, this and that, and whatever. Because I look at it as, even, you talk about marriage-wise, but even like, if you're not married and stepping out, that comes into play too. Because there's a lot of people that do that. At the same time, I don't know. She said I cheated. My whole thing was, if I don't hear from you for a long period of time, and I'm trying to talk to you, trying to communicate, and there's no, I don't know, reciprocation of that, I figured, to me, and this is just me, but I figured that she had moved on or something. I mean, you never know, especially being long distance. You don't know what's going on. You really don't. And that time in particular was, there's a young lady, everybody know I got a church background. There's a young lady that I used to talk to from these conferences that we used to have. Anybody that knows about churches, no churches do conferences. Usually once a year or something like that, where different churches come together and they have like 3-day, 4-day conference services every night. During the daytime, they have teaching or whatever, little skating events, whatever the case may be. And yeah, it was long distance. Long distance is a hard deal, especially when you're not communicating back and forth with each other on a regular basis. I didn't realize that.
I just feel like we sometimes commit to things we're not ready for.
Yeah, and
And like, long distance is a hard thing, but once I commit to it, I have to be able to withstand temptation
yeah,
and anything that may come my way if I'm really trying to pursue this person that's long distance. And you know what I'm talking about because I gave up everything for long distance.
yeah, yeah.
Now,
And true, in a way, actually, when I first left Alabama, I'm trying to remember, no, that's the first time. Actually, it was like the third time. The third time that I came home and I decided to go back to Minnesota. The reason I went back, one of the reasons was because I got a job that I had been waiting for, but I was in a relationship talking to this young lady in Minnesota, and one thing led to another. We decided to part ways, but with us communicating back and forth, with me being here and her being there, we decided to start our relationship back up. Well, unbeknownst to me, she had a friend. Now, I hear a lot of women say uh, something, something to the effect of, well, you can't expect for this to happen when you're not far away from the person. I know there are, shoot, I can tell y'all kind of instances where, um, of course, their communications were open and they were talking all the time, but a few people that have got married and been
it
together for
works.
a long time now. Yeah,
Yeah, it works.
if
Can
you
work.
want to work at it,
Exactly.
it will work out.
Exactly.
But it's the whole deal of both parties wanting to be in that relationship. So I kind of, when guys say stuff like, "Man, I can't do that. It's too much going on." Well, if you want to be with that person, you can do that. Um, and so I don't know. It's a big deal with me, especially with marriage. And actually, in all honesty, other than us knocking heads like we used to, another reason my marriage kind of ended was because of that situation. Something else was going on, which I didn't know, because I had came back. Well, we was both here. We was both here. Moved back to Alabama, and things were going great. And then next thing you know, something happened, and it went all out of whack. And she decided to go back home. I stayed here, and one thing led to another, and I'm getting a phone call from a guy there saying, "Well, you ain't doing your job. I'm doing it for you." And the kicker that got me, and I'm just being personal because we do that on the breakdown. The kicker that got me was my daughter at the time was a month old when she left.
Crazy.
She was 1 month old. I received a phone call, not I, maybe 3 weeks later, because we were talking back and forth on the phone all the time. But about 3 weeks later, I got the phone call with the guy saying, "Well, you ain't doing your job. I'm doing it for you. I'm holding your daughter." And my whole demeanor or thought process went, "Why would you even bring that up, other than throw it in my face? What is that about?" It's crazy to me. And I was already dealing with, and I talk about this all the time on the Man Cave. Y'all check out the Man Cave. I talk about it all the time. I'm an open book on the man cave and about how my feelings are about my daughter and her going through what she's going through because I'm not there with her. And she's expressed that to me. Here recently, our communications are back on point like they used to be. And when it first started, when it got back to where, she's a teenager now, it got back to where we was really, really talking. She laid it all out on the table. Told me how she felt. This is this, that is that. Why did you leave when you left? And I had to explain all of that whole situation to her, to what was going on, to where she would understand what the deal was. No bashing of nobody, because I don't bash. But Queen knows, Sassy knows, Flo knows, because we've been talking for years. My feelings about that situation and how I feel about what all went on and conspired when it happened. So to me, that, I don't know, being on the end of the hurt or receiving end of it is crazy. But like I said, there are those that say, yo, and that goes back to what you were saying earlier, Queen, about the communication. If your communications ain't open, you don't even know you're doing nothing wrong.
Exactly.
Because y'all ain't communicated that. Like, I've heard of instances where, and I don't know if it's just women that do this, but women feel a certain way. If you do certain things with women, as far as, and I'm not even talking about sexually, I'm just talking about going out, kicking it, whatever the case may be, it's an automatic, y'all in a relationship. Is that true?
That is not true. That is so not true.
But I've heard this though.
I enjoy, that was another deal breaker because I'm a very outgoing person. I like karaoke. I like going to sports bars. I like walking through the park. My ex did not want to do none of that. He just wanted me to be in the house. That was another thing that was a turn off.
That's crazy. I don't understand that either. Like, well, yeah. I understand there are people that are homebodies and they don't really like to get out and do things or kick it or,
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that. But if you're in a relationship, you have to make
right.
person.
Especially if I sacrifice and do things, sit and play video games and show stuff like that. Another thing was, I forgot what I was about to say. Another thing was that I was open, and when it comes down to temptation, and I think we spoke about this before, if you and your spouse are constantly uplifting each other, you're handsome, you're beautiful, I love you, you're the best thing to happen to me. When your spouse go out, and if a male or a female try to approach him or she, they will easily be, if somebody come on them and be like, oh, you handsome or you beautiful, they'll be like, well, I know, because I already know, and not paying no attention. But when your spouse is not giving that at home, temptation is so much easier. Even talking about the Bible, if you're not praying and you're not sitting and meditating in the Word, the devil is easy to get into your head.
Yeah.
Easy to get into your head. So if I think both parties play, it's up to the party that the temptation is bothering to be able to overcome the temptation. But it's up to the party that don't even know this temptation is fighting their spouse to make sure when their spouse leaves the house, they know that you are all I want. You are all I need. I love you. So both parties play a part in what goes on in the relationship. No, cheating is not good. No, you can't make excuses for it. But if you're with somebody and they do cheat, sit down and understand why they did and want to know what you can do so it does not happen again. Like in my marriage, I told him, I said, look, I got a high sex drive, and no, sex is not everything. That's not the only thing. But I wanted another child.
Mm-hmm.
He did not want to have sex at all. He'd go down, but we don't want to have sex at all. And he would be like, because of my weight. No, you was the same size when I met you. It ain't your weight. So I said, look, I ain't going to sit here and tolerate this for too much longer. And I said that out of my mouth. I said, if you're not going to give it to me, I'll find it. And if you ever ask him, he'll tell you that. I told him that. And it took me 2 years to do that.
Wow. I don't know. Yeah, that goes
I'm telling you something. Yeah.
Into communications, because I don't know.
Tell me anything, even if it's going to hurt my feelings. That's how good our communication need to be.
Yeah.
We should be able to be brutally honest with each other.
That part right there. That's it.
That's where communication lacks.
Majority of relationships, and I've talked to people that's been in a relationship for a long time, I've questioned, how did y'all stay together for so long? My parents been together for a very long time.
Yeah, my mom and dad, 32 years.
I am 43. My parents they was together for a long time. They were together.
I want that old school love.
And they have miscommunications. They have arguments. I'm sure they'll mind me saying that. Them being pastors, both of them. They pastor church here in Selma, but them being pastors, they have a lot to deal with. That's another thing. When people have a lot of stuff going on outside of their relationship and dealing with a lot of people and dealing with other people. My sister, my biological sister, my baby sister, got married, but it's been 4 years now. And a year into their marriage, what they say a lot of times is if you can make it to 2 years, you're going to be married. You're going to be golden. Most relationships or divorces happen within that 2 year span. And I would say about, it might have been 6 or 7 months of them being together, not married, but being together. Some stuff conspired. And miscommunications were had. Her understanding it one way, my brother-in-law's understanding it another way, and the next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call. She's like, I'm done. This is around. This over. I don't even want to be around him. When a month before that, he was her world. He was everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt me because to me, dude was cool. Like I had got to know him, but them being around each other all the time, I guess it was certain things that she saw that she didn't like, and brought it to his attention. And from what I understand, well, I wasn't there, but it seemed like it wasn't straightening up. She was hurt. Oh, she was hurt bad. My baby sister don't call me like that. Not about stuff like that. She never talks to me about relationships. Coming up through school, I never knew my sister was in a relationship because she never brought it to me. She never said that. I never met nobody that she dated. This was the first dude that I ever met, and I talked to her because by that time I had been through my situation with my marriage and all that, and I was like, oh, you got to work with it. You got to try to work on it. To me, dude seemed like a cool dude. He seemed real cool. Uh, it might have had something to do with his last name being Marshall too. Because when I found that out, I was like, wait, are you sure this dude ain't Ken? Who is his people? Where is he from? And then she was like, well, he's from Alabama. What you mean he's from Alabama? Hold on, man. And then he had ties with Carolina. That's where my dad's from. I'm like, oh no. This
You know what's crazy? Because my dad's family stems from Joneses. So when they found out like Ken last name being Jones, my dad moved all the way through the family tree. But I was named after my aunt Queen. And when I got married, I became Queen Jones. She's passed away, and her name was Queen Jones. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's yeah. Shoot, we dove through the family tree, the whole family, all of us, all my siblings, my mom, my dad. Yeah, we dove through the family tree. Like, hold on, man, this
I know this on the subject, but my mom's side of the family made a page on Facebook called the Blagman family.
Mm-hmm.
And cause my mom maiden name was Blagman, my daddy's a Brown.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of people
coming across my suggested friend. Yeah. I had to look at the last name because it was one that was.
It was too close. What Queen saying? Nah, but shoot, that's what happens. I don't know. It's
hard when you go through stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's life. You deal with it. You move on from it. If you can work it out. You said for you what? Nah, but you try to work that stuff out. I get a lot of women coming to me, especially here recently, with us doing the breakdown, a series that we did on. We went all the way from dating to being married. We did a whole series on it. So if you haven't heard the series, go back wherever you're listening to this and look up that series. We talked about dating. We talked about being in a relationship to going into the marriage. And then we talked about divorce and splitting up and going your separate ways. And we gave some real key points. Like I haven't, well, I did tell the team. I told the team that our producer, well, the head producer and a couple of other people that are part of TDR really enjoyed the series that we were doing. And even if you listen to some of their shows, they were pointing back to where, hey, y'all need to go listen to the breakdown. They did a series on this, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, if you get a chance, go check that out. There was some very key stuff that was brought out. Of course, Lala was a part of it. Sassy was a part of it. Flo was there. Queen was on a few shows, if I remember right. Well, toward the end. Yeah. Queen came in toward the end. But make sure y'all go check those out. They're on the Linktree page as well. So if you want to check out the Linktree page, do that. It'll be in the description of this show that you're listening to right now. So make sure y'all check that out. Yeah, but if you come back, Queen. Okay. I want to jump into something else. I want to jump into emotions. Emotional I ain't gonna say emotional baggage, but emotion of going through a cheating or being cheated on or being a cheater. Did you have emotions in that with you?
I just felt bad.
You felt bad.
I felt
So
bad.
you had sympathy. Well, is that sympathy? Yeah. You can call it sympathy.
I said I know that I'm going to get my karma in the future. Because I believe in karma. And I just set myself up for some bad karma. No matter how bad it was going, it'll wait till it was done. Even though it was really over, but the title was still there, so technically it wasn't over.
Yeah,
so I would have to answer for that.
A lot of people do look at it that way. I don't know. In talking to my father, who is, for those that don't know, a bishop in the apostolic faith, who's been there, like, basically when I was going through all that I was going through, came back home when my marriage fell apart. We had a lot of conversations about situations, and I know on my end, I felt a certain type of way. One, because that same situation that you're talking about, I went through. And it wasn't sexual, but it was to where a point to where me and the young lady were saying that our emotions were involved. And we had a situation where they came here as a visit. They came here to visit, and I'm trying to remember exactly what was going on. I think we were in the house chilling or whatever, and I got a phone call from her. So of course I went and took the phone call, excused myself, walked out the room, whatever. I think I went outside or something like that. And I'm talking on the phone, and my wife at the time proceeds to follow me. I didn't know she was following me, and she heard me tell the young lady, "Yo, I'm going to have to call you back. We'll talk a little later. I love you." And it caused an issue. She just snapped out. She just went off.
Who
like,
was it?
I can't believe it.
Who was it?
The woman I was talking to?
Yeah.
We not finna do that.
I mean, but who was it you was telling you loved him and you called him back?
It was somebody I was talking to for a minute.
While you were married?
We had separated. And my issue was that she got up. My wife at the time got up.
What? So y'all separated, but y'all was in the same area?
Yeah, she came.
Y'all was at a get together?
She came here to visit. So she just happened to be in town at the time. And she was at the house, of course. I excused myself from the surroundings, went outside to have the conversation. She overheard it. To me, I didn't know why she was tripping, because not 2 weeks before that, I just talked about the situation where dude called me on the phone and was like, "Yo, I'm holding your daughter." So I didn't understand.
I thought you said when y'all married, but she tripping. You was married, but the dude just called you 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
What you doing following me? You don't go sit your ass
down. So I
down?
didn't understand what the problem was. I couldn't get it. I was dumbfounded.
She lucky you walked out. I would have said it right there in front of her.
And honestly, that was the first time I said that to her. It was the first time. But to her, it was like, oh, this been going on. This what's been happening. Da 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 da. Now, I was tripping. Now, let me tell you why I was tripping. I was tripping because, come to find out, the reason that she went back, talking about my ex-wife, the reason that she went back was to me because it happened so quick to be with this dude. I found out through the grapevine about with somebody else, talking to somebody else, and said, oh yeah, she got a dude, da 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 da. Like, nah, man, it's not that. Whatever. That ain't the way she been talking to me. When I brought it up to her, and she got an attitude about it, that let me know what was going on. I was like, oh, that was quick. That was real quick. To me, it gave me the green light to move on with your life. Now, like you said earlier, Queen, a lot of people do feel that's not true. That ain't how you supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it this way. And for years, I had been doing that. But at the time, I was so thrown off. I was actually talking to the young lady for, I would say, probably a few months. But we had never did anything. We never went out. We was just having communications. That's it.
Right.
But to a lot of women, that's enough. I don't know how guys feel about that, but I do know I've talked to a lot of women doing shows over the years. That's enough. It's a wrap. Yo, you talking to somebody and you supposed to be with me? Man, heck no. And conclusions are drawn.
Emotional cheating is, because anybody, I don't know. As for a man, okay, I feel like it's easier for y'all to just sleep with somebody and don't catch feelings than it is for us as women to sleep with somebody and we catch feelings.
And see, I don't even
when y'all actually take the time to talk to somebody, oh, hell no.
I don't even put myself in that situation where that can happen if I'm with somebody. If I'm with somebody and I feel like our relationship is going and we're talking, everything's good, and I don't even put myself in that situation. I move away from it quickly. I've been jumped on and talked about because I do that. Don't believe me? Go listen to the Man Cave. But it is what it is. I mean, that's just the way that I am. Like, I don't put myself in those situations. Even with communications with this young lady, it never went there. Like, it was never a sexual thing and people do phone sex or cyber or all that kind of stuff. That never came into play. But you told her
you loved her.
Well, that was like after the fact. I don't know if, and now that I'm thinking about it and we talking about it, I don't know if this was a get back. I don't know what it was. I was feeling her emotionally wise. I just didn't let myself get caught up like that at the time. When everything happened and it came to fruition, it was like, you know what? So I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't. But I don't know. One thing led to another. That's a past relationship. They ain't here or there anymore. But anyway, for the longest, and Queen, you done told me that too. I need to get back out there. and I say it on the man cave all the time, there is a certain way I carry myself. There's certain things that I do. The man cave tells me all the time, man, forget that, throw that out the door. You need to do for you. At the same time, I just can't. And you know, we got Fresh on the man cave. You got Tone on there, Cal's on there. Will quick be like, bruh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know how you doing it. I've been celibate
let's just put it out there, y'all, that I tried to talk to Gator and he turned me down, okay?
What?
Not gonna just
you gonna do that live on the air? Wow. I just And let me say this, at the time, my eyes were so blind to everything around me because of the situation I was going through, I didn't even see it. That's the funny thing, because after the fact, it was brought to my attention, and I was like, oh, wait, that's what happened? Oh, see, you know what? Straight bugging out. I was like, hold on. I didn't even realize that's what was going on. And Flo get on me all the time because, especially when we was working in the clubs in Atlanta, women, real women. Yeah, I had to put that in there. Real women. A lot of people know the type of clubs that I was working at sometimes. But they would be trying to hit on me. And I would be shutting them down left and right. And Flo be like, what's wrong with you, dude? What are you doing? What's going on? Because he'll be standing there and then heard the whole conversation or something. And he'd be like, did you just... Man, I can't even stand by you right now. I'm just walk away. But that's my whole thing. Like, I don't know. When my headspace is in another place, like, I'm not even thinking about that. And usually when that happens, I ain't even thinking on a relationship tip or trying to talk to nobody or nothing. I'm just trying to get my stuff together. And I think that's what I told Queen. I'm trying to get myself together, get myself straight, and whatever. I don't want to bring you into no BS. And that's how that went down. I think that's what happened after the fact. But it's like my mind don't even be on it. And I probably didn't miss everything. Hopefully God will give you another chance and come back around, because I done did that to a lot of women. And it's not a person. I don't know if women feel offended when that happens or feel a certain way. It's not that I be trying to do that. I tried to explain this on the Man Cave. It didn't go well. I don't be trying to do that. It's just that my mindset is not on that at the time. It's the father's place, and that happens. And I'll be like, hey. After the fact, I think about it like, yeah, I just missed, you know what. But it's the whole thing. But then, you know what? When you try to get back out there, it's like nobody's available. Nobody wants that. You get the same thing. So what you was talking about earlier, stuff coming back on you, I think that's what be happening to me. I believe that's what be happening to me. For real. It is what it is. I got what? They was applauding me on the Man Cave because I was talking about a situation that happened a while back. Like, yeah, about time. That's good. That's what's up. Like, y'all need to chill out. It was not that serious. It was a date. it wasn't that serious. Oh yeah, that's good. Back out there. It's about time. And then, like I said before, my whole situation, and Tone had brought this up on numerous occasions, talking about doing some kind of date show where they can get me to go on a date with somebody. Like, man, y'all really trying to get me out there for real. It is what it is. I don't know. What else you feel about infidelity? What do you feel? Like your personal feelings on it?
What you say?
Queen, I said, what are your personal feelings as far as infidelity happening? You talked about being on the giving end of it. What about the receiving end?
I don't know. I guess you wouldn't know until you put in that situation. Like I don't know. Who's to say that the person that I fall in love with may not, may cheat on me and I won't leave. It's a possibility. My mom always said, you will tolerate anything from a person you feel like is worth fighting for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can tell you, if I would leave or if I would be mad, I wouldn't know. I do think it'll be my karma. So would I just easily walk away? I don't think so.
That's a big deal. I don't know. I know I'm gonna put some posts in the breakdown on Facebook and on the like page in the group too, so that y'all can check it out. Give your opinions on how you feel about it. See if we can recover from it. Can you recover from it? Do you think you can? What is it? Give me some steps.
So what?
Give me some steps that you feel from a woman's point of view that will help you recover from that. Like, well, I guess it would be personal.
My mom and dad been married 32 years. My dad done did some things. My dad done beat on my mom. My dad done probably cheated. But like I said, my mom, being a strong woman that she is, and her faith in God and in the true definition of marriage, helped her fight through everything. And for the last 15 years, my dad has done nothing but take care of her, has never cheated again or anything.
That's it. Yeah. I've heard a lot of those stories like that. Because I haven't even, I don't know. Me and my pops had a long conversation, but I ain't really talked about that with him yet. As far as that part of it, I'm sure he'll be willing to. I just haven't. Stay tuned to the next show. I'm working on trying to get them to come on to break down my mom and my dad so that we can have a communication with them. They did such a good job. Like, Tone did a conversation with his parents that was amazing. And I can't remember off the top of my head what the name of the show was. It might have been something about him talking to his parents. But if you're in any of the TDR shows or anything like that, make sure you try to check that out. Even when you're listening, there is a link tree. Click on that link tree, go to the Deaf Fresh show, and you'll be able to check that out, where they had that conversation. But that was a real good conversation. And so I was thinking about doing it with my parents bringing them on the show and actually having a one-on-one with them about different things and subjects, topics, and of course relationships and all that kind of stuff come into play. So make sure y'all pay attention to that. Tonight's show is gonna be kind of short. I figured it would be kind of short because there's a lot going on. We will be doing another show. You might get a bonus. So make sure you pay attention to that. Go check out all the shows on Tone Dance Network. Make sure you check out the breakdown on Facebook, Instagram. Make sure y'all check those out. We're trying to get it work on the Twitter. So we'll let you know when all that happens. Other than that, you might break up. You might break out. But by all means, don't break down. Till next time, peace.